guys, my name is Serena Poon, and welcome to my show, Serena Loves. As a celebrity chef, nutritionist, and entrepreneur, I'm incredibly passionate about helping others live their best life through methods I call culinary alchemy, which is the combination of education, integrative and functional nutrition, and healing and intuitive energy. So with each episode, I'm going to share with you the amazing stories of some inspiring people, entrepreneurs from all different backgrounds, who have overcome challenges in their own personal journeys to have the success they have today. And today, I'm so happy to introduce to you my dear, sweet spirit sister, Kelsey Patel. Kelsey, thank you so much for coming today.
I'm so excited.
I just want to jump across the couch.
I know.
You are, there's so many things I want to tell the whole world about you. You're just such a magical soul. You have, you're a spiritual empowerment coach. You have a podcast, this amazing new podcast I'd love for you to share about in a bit with Ryan. You are the founder of Magik Vibes, which I love, and that is, for everyone, a seasonal spiritual subscription company, right?
Yep.
And all the beautiful things I want you to share about shortly. And then what I would love for us to dive into is how you're this Reiki master, and that's how I came to be connected with you.
Yeah.
And what I would love to know is how Reiki, why Reiki, like what in your journey first brought you there, and how that feathered out into everything else.
Of course. Well, first, I'm honored. I'm so proud of you to have this show and just for all the things that you're doing in the world. And I also feel like it's important for people to know that you are certified in Reiki as well, that you've done both your level 1 and 2, and I'm sure that you will be continuing the journey. Mm-hmm. And, for me and with Reiki, it's almost like it wasn't something that I even had an option about. It sort of found me the way that many things in a lot of our lives, how that happens is something finds you, is you didn't maybe plan to do a training I never planned to be a quote unquote healer. Mm-hmm. And even still that term makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable.
But you are.
I am, yes. To many people that is what they say, but it's more that I feel like I have tapped into a part of me that's always been there. Mm-hmm. And I came to Reiki really on my knees. I had a lot of chronic back pain. I had crazy anxiety, and I just felt like I was not in flow. And I really questioned, how long can one keep going with this amount of pain? And how long can I continue to just pretend that everything is great and I'm okay? Mm-hmm. So that I was owning a fitness studio at the time, and we were doing a wellness day, and a woman came in and she was a friend of a friend and did Reiki, and I was like, sure, we can add that to the mix of things that we're giving to people today. And that was how I started with Reiki, is I met her and she offered me a free session as a thank you for letting them come that day. And I went in for a session, and to be honest, I had no idea what was happening. My anxiety was totally rampant because I was like, what is she doing? I kind of feel her around me, but I don't. And so I was really weirded out by it.
Right.
And then I felt great after. So I kept seeing her. Mm-hmm. And that led to me saying, you know what, I should learn this for myself. Not for anybody else, but for me.
Yeah.
Which led to Reiki 2, which led to the 3, which led to teacher. So it wasn't a planned path by any means. In fact, if you had told me when I worked on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. that I was going to be a Reiki healer, I'd be like, ha ha.
Right.
Joke's on you. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that's how, to me, I'm really grateful for it now, because my whole passion is to help people release any unnecessary suffering. There is suffering in the world. We all experience it at some time, but my hope and intention is to help end unnecessary suffering.
Right. That's so beautiful.
So
I love that. And I don't think that many people know your whole story from having come from Capitol Hill. And I'm assuming that's where all this anxiety was coming from, or
yeah, I would say
life.
It wasn't just Capitol Hill. I think I grew up in North Dakota, and I had a mom who suffered a lot with chronic depression, and she had chronic pain. And, you know, for a long time, she would just, manage, and she was a rock star, you know, making cookies and having a full-time job and all these different, and caring for people so much that we would get calls in the middle of the night and my mom would go pick up a student by a garbage truck who had just, you know, been kicked out of their house. So her love was endless, but she also had a lot of her own internal struggles. And you don't really talk about that in the Midwest at the time. So for me, I think I learned that you don't, that feelings, what are feelings, you know? So I learned how to just bottle up all of my emotions. And I was so busy, Serena. I was constantly doing. I constantly went from this thing to that, to that, to that, to that, to that. So I never had time alone. And I think just as you get older and as things change in life, I started to have more time alone, and I realized how anxious I was and that my mind was always racing and I had pain. So that was kind of how the journey started.
Wow. Serena, that's beautiful. And I think that that gives other people so much sort of inspiration and hope, because, you know, we go to these jobs after college, or, you know, we just kind of get on this path where we're doing what we think we should be doing. And like you said, we get so busy that we don't really get a chance to stop and take a breath and think about what we're not doing and all that we're doing, you know, and kind of find that space to heal yourself.
Totally.
So, you know, I think that's a good reminder for people to say, hey, you might be in this right now and it feels like you can't breathe and it feels like there are no options, but like you can go from A to B in this beautiful way and look at how it's transformed your life.
My life is transformed, and even, you know, and it keeps being transformed. You know, I think that's the beauty of all this work is, I'm sure you've seen it with clients regarding food and their relationship with it. And
100%.
some people go really, they dive so deep and they go into the deep end and it's not sustainable.
No.
Because they they're in it and then suddenly they forget they've used all their energy and they don't have enough to keep going.
And that's not life either. You know, life is ever evolving and you can't plan for every single minute.
Ebb and flow. Everything is constantly changing with us. So one of the things that I tell my students sometimes just related to change is, you know, you don't look at the sky and see, you love where the cloud is, you love where the sun is, you love that there's space in the sky. You don't ever just look at that and expect it's not going to keep changing. So if we could look at that as an analogy to our life and bring that softness and bring that openness and acceptance that our lives are going to keep changing and evolving, and it's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to have a great day, but none of that defines who you are.
And that every day is a new day, right? And that's one of the things I always remind myself and my clients of as well, is that every day is a new day. So you didn't hit all your marks today, it's okay. You get a chance to do it again tomorrow. So I really love that analogy, and I'm going to borrow it.
Of course, it's all yours.
I haven't heard that one before, and that's a really beautiful one. So thank you. Okay, so I want everyone to know about Magik Vibes, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that already do, and I love it. It's beautiful, and in the one short year, you've progressed so much. Right? So you're in a fulfillment center now. Tell us about all the goodies that are in it.
So it's, first of all, it's crazy when you have a business, as you know. And what I've really learned is how much, as a business owner, you have to keep adapting and you have to keep being willing to change. Willing, you know, same as the sky. Of course. And I think that's part of what I've seen with a lot of other entrepreneurs that come on my retreats or come to workshops or anything or reach out to me, is you have to let yourself have less expectations, because the ego will try to get in the way. And mine has certainly done that many times over.
I think for everybody. You know?
And I thought it had to be this way. We have to do 4 boxes a year. They have to be this size. It has to be this amount of money. You know, and I was grabbing onto that. And then I realized that people wanted our single products and they wanted different pricing options. And who was I to not want to give people, you know, what they're asking for? So now what I'm really excited about is we've honed in a lot. We're getting really aware after a year of business of what people are into.
It takes at least
it takes 1 to 3 years, I'd say. So I brought a couple of our favorite best-selling items right now.
Yes.
And they are, which I'm wearing as well, the love bracelet, which is rose quartz.
And I have, well.
You have, yeah?
I do. I gave it to my grandmother.
Oh, how special. But that's what they're for. Like sometimes I'll be wearing a bracelet and I'll just pull it off and give it to someone that I've just met.
Yes.
Because I want to share the love and the energy.
I do that with my crystals sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they just know. Like
they know who they want to go to. Yep, we never own them. They know where they want to be. And then we have the black tourmaline bracelet, which is great whenever I travel or if I'm going to be at a concert or around a lot of people, I'll wear that because it's really great for protection. And then we have a whole collection of jewelry. I'm wearing one of the necklaces right now.
Let me see.
This is the evil eye.
Oh, I love
so
that.
beautiful. They've all been blessed.
Cute. Yes,
and then this is another one of our most popular ones.
And can I pick this one up?
Yeah, of course. It's the lotus. And every time I wear that, one of my clients and friends, Constance Zimmer, who's an actress, it's her favorite necklace. So
it's rose gold.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful reminder of how, kind of like the lotus, how things can, it has to grow and it has to be in muddy water and it has to work really hard to become this beautiful flower. And then our I Am Calm roll-on, which again is great to take everywhere with you. I have like 5 around my house and 1 in my purse. And then the last is, there's a lot of popularity right now with gua sha tools.
Yes.
And not just for beauty, I use them a lot as well for my neck and for my forearms. So I'll lay in a bath and I'll just slowly, I'll put a little oil on and then I'll just start to move to help break up some of the muscle so that it's not getting too tight.
I love that. Do you have, when you sell items, like do you have instructions?
Yeah, every item has instructions. They've all been blessed. We even now, which I'm really excited about it, people have been asking me this for years. I just am about to put up my meditations.
Oh, good.
In our shop as well. So they'll all have distance Reiki in them. They're going to be for all different reasons and seasons.
Oh, I love
And then our books now have this moon kit. So you can have this kit where you can actually write your new moon intentions and here's how to do a full moon and here's what to do on a new month to just give people the practice of ritual.
That's great because that's obviously with Just Add Water and my own, culinary alchemy, my own brand. Ritual is huge.
It's huge.
And so, and it's one of those things that it's just about retraining your brain, which you're obviously, with EFT, that's something you teach as well. And ritual helps us almost on a subconscious level, teach us new routines, teach us new habits that are empowering.
1,000%. So, and I think it's so important to, like you said, it's just a matter of practice and you get more and more familiar and you get more and more comfortable as you get more and more familiar.
Yeah.
And I think, all of us have had some type of story that's led us to where we are now. And what I really feel for people is it's not that crystals or any of these things are necessarily, none of them are necessary, right? But it's more that if it makes you feel more peace, if any of our items can remind you that you're worthy of peace, that you're worthy of presence, that it's okay to take a few deep breaths and give back to yourself, then that's the only reason that I have Magik Vibes out there, is to give those loving reminders to people.
Yes, that's why I love it so much.
Thanks.
I mean, that's exactly, this is why we say simplify your self-care, these are just little tools just to help remind yourself that it matters. You matter.
You matter.
And taking a few moments for yourself is important.
And those micro choices every day become the macro of the world that you see every day.
100%.
So those baby choices of having Just Add Water with your green juice every day, of putting on your bracelet, of taking 5 to 10 minutes to do a meditation. Those small choices every day become the bigger picture of the life that you're living and the peace you feel. It becomes the
foundation, right? Yep. It really does become the foundation for everything that you want, and everything that you're bringing in. And I think that there's a lot of people that do already realize that, but there's so many more that don't. Totally. And some of us just need reminders because we're human. And
I certainly do.
I fall off of journaling. I say, I journal every day. I do, and then I'll miss a day.
Or if you travel or things, things get thrown off. And I do feel like that's why having certain things that ground you that you know can be consistent for you, like I bring my packets of Just Add Water with me, and the bracelets,
you wear them.
Yeah, my I Am Calm oil. And then even beyond that, I would say giving yourself permission, like I do wellness retreats or teach Reiki or whatever it is, to take those big moments, like to find out what you really feel like you need for your mind, your body, and your soul.
Right.
And to give yourself permission to actually take that and to take that time, whether or not it's a weekend with no social media, or booking that retreat to Bali, or whatever, or signing up to do a teacher training course, or whatever it is, or a nutrition course, anything that you really want and you've been wanting, but you maybe feel scared or intimidated or whatever it is, to like make that leap, because when you make those choices, it's again becomes part of the macro, and then you realize how much more is possible for you.
Yes.
And you open up a whole new landscape for yourself.
It's so true. It's so true. And is this a lot of what you share on your podcast?
Yes.
Because I love listening to everything you're saying. I know we talk about this on our own, but you know, I love you sharing it with obviously my community, but yours as well. So tell me more about the podcast.
So the podcast is called Break Up With Your Bullshit.
I love it.
Yeah, I was like, I hope I can say that.
Yeah.
It's with my very dear friend and fellow spiritual teacher and mentor, Ryan Weiss. He is a love. He feels like my soul brother. And we came together because we've worked with thousands of clients over the years, celebrity clients, family, friends, everybody. And we started to realize how much the ego is just constantly telling us these programs and stories and unnecessary thoughts. So Ryan and I decided to sit down. We had no idea what it would become. We had no, like, it's gonna be these episodes and it's gonna look like this. We had no idea what it would be. And we just kept recording. And then as we were recording, it's kind of the whole creative process, right? Like when you're cooking, you might not know exactly what you're gonna make.
Just kind of throwing
you're just
together.
making, and that's how we decided to do the podcast, is we just kept adding more and then seeing more, and then we started to realize how this was fitting there, and it became this 8-episode series.
Wow.
And we've had so many downloads that we keep not looking at it because we don't know what to do when we see it, and then we've been asked to do more, and then hopefully in the new year I'm also going to start a Magik Vibes podcast.
Oh yes.
It's just a weekly meditation for people.
That's beautiful.
Interviewing people that I know and love, or things that have helped me along the journey, and just having a real conversation about being human and the pain and the joy and the life that comes, the surrender, the acceptance.
Yeah, that's
so
beautiful.
If I do it, you'll be on it for sure.
Yeah, I can't wait, because I definitely have my story of surrender.
I know,
you were with me through that journey.
Yeah, I've been honored to see you through your journey.
So, and you know, one of my angels, you know, my guides on my journey. So I'm so grateful.
I'm very honored and grateful to be here.
Well, let's tell everyone where we can find everything. Of course. You have your podcast, your retreats, your products. Let's talk about where we can find everything that Kelsey can help you with.
Of course. So you can go to my website, kelseyj-patel.com. We have the shop up there. We have my blog up there, all the information of my upcoming classes, courses, and retreats. And then you can also go to Instagram. It's Kelsey J Patel. And find me there. I have lots of fun on my stories with my husband and friends.
So much fun.
Dance parties pretty much every week. So you can come check me out there too.
And thanks so much, you guys. Tune in next time. This is Serena Loves.